Global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned. Hello guys, welcome to Global Happenings today. We have a trending news here for you, and the headline of the news reads: Hope Uzodinma in fresh crisis as his 4.3 billion fraud and travel ban resurfaces. EFCC speaks. All right, but before we go on with details of the news, please just subscribe and also click on our notification bell so that anytime we publish videos like this, you can get it swiftly. All right, let's look at the news.
The federal government has failed to make any comment on the alleged 4.3 billion naira fraud case of newly inaugurated governor of Imo State, Senator Hope Uzodinma, as well as the travel ban imposed on the governor. When contacted for update on the alleged fraud case of Uzodinma, the spokesman for Attorney General of the Federation, Dr. Umar Gwandu, promised to give an update. I have not been able to get a response for now. When there is information, I will forward it to you, he said. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, which is also investigating Uzodinma for allegedly issuing a 200 million naira dot check, however, said the new governor could not be touched because of his immunity. Recall that the AGF had taken over all cases handled by the Special Presidential Investigation Panel led by Okoye Ogbonobla, which was dissolved in September 2019, while Ogbonobla has since become the subject of investigation. One of the cases taken over by the AGF was that of Uzodinma. The Ogbonobla panel had, in line with Executive Order 6, placed a travel ban on 39 alleged treasury looters, one of whom was Uzodinma. Some others on the list included a former Senate President, David Mark, and a former Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dimeji Bankole. Uzodinma, according to the panel, allegedly perpetrated fraud to the tune of $12 million, that's $4.3 billion naira, when he failed to execute a contract worth $12 million awarded to his company by the Nigeria Port Authority for dredging of the Calabar Channel. He had also been arrested by the panel but was released due to high blood pressure he suffered in custody, according to Ogbonobla. The panel had also dragged Uzodinma before Justice Babatunde Quadri of the Federal High Court in Abuja for alleged non-disclosure of assets. One of the charges reads that you, Senator Hope Uzodinma, mail on or about March 5, 2018, being a public officer with the National Assembly, Abuja, within the jurisdiction of the Honorable Court, committed an offense to wit, refuse to declare your assets without reasonable excuse upon notice to declare your assets before the Special Presidential Investigation Panel for the recovery of public property. Abuja, contrary to and punishable under Section 3, subsection 3, 1A of the Recovery of Public Property Special Provision Act 2004. Uzodinma now enjoys immunity from prosecution, having been sworn in as governor following a Supreme Court judgment which ordered Governor Emeka Ihedioha's sacking. Others who were under probe but now enjoy immunity include Governor Bala Mohammed of Bauchi State, Governor Omar Fantiri of Adamawa and Zamfara State, Governor Bello Matawalle. It remains unclear, however, if the governor's travel ban has been lifted. Apart from the case being handled by the office of the AGF, the governor has a case with the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Justice Abdullahab Mohammed of FCT High Court had on October 2018 referred the case of criminal complaint of issuing 200 million naira dot check instituted against Uzodinma to the EFCC for investigation and action. The court had on September 18, 2018 ordered the arrest of the senator following his refusal to honor the summons to answer to this complaint that he issued a dot check. On September 2018, that's September 25th, 2018, the court granted a request by counsel for the complainant, Tosin Ojaomo, for the publication of a public summons against Uzodinma following the failure of security agencies to produce him despite pending arrest warrant issued against him. Human rights lawyer Femi Falana San said immunity for governors only relates to prosecution. Immunity does not protect one from a travel ban. If the travel ban was backed by a court order, he would need to vacate it before being able to travel, Falana said. The chief press secretary to the governor, Ugwoke Nwachukwu, did not respond to a text message on the fraud case as of press time. The spokesman for EFCC, Mr. Tony Orilade, when contacted on telephone, said he was not aware of Uzodinma's case. I am not familiar with the issue you are raising concerning Uzodinma. Meanwhile, Uzodinma has ordered the sacking of all chairmen of boards and parastatals in the state and their members. The governor ordered the affected people who were appointed by the oust governor Emeka Hediwa to hand over all government property in their possessions to the most senior civil servant in their respective agencies. A source said the executive governor of Imo State, His Excellency Hope Uzodinma, has approved to immediately dissolve the dissolution of boards of all government parastatal agencies. By this same token, the governor has requested that the outgoing appointees relinquish all government properties. That's about it.
All right. Thank you very much. And it's really surprising that things like this are going on, and it is not fully being disclosed to the public so that it can really influence the voting process. Because if truly we are looking at transparency, accountability, empathy on the part of those who are our leaders, I really know that issues like this should be really made public, such that everybody will be in the know, so that they know the kind of people to vote into power. I think that was the reason why the people of Imo State did not give him so much vote. In respect, I'm talking about this in respect to, what we saw when the result was released after March 9, 2019. I think that's why, they didn't give him so much vote, because I don't understand so much money being stolen, so much fraud issues surrounding a person, and then he is being given another opportunity to function in the capacity of a governor. Now, one of the things I have against this present day government, or I have against Nigeria as a whole, is slow judicial process. A case of this sort that requires immediate judicial process requires that the person should be charged to court. If, for example, ordinary, we already know that if you issue out a check, a Dutch check, it is a criminal offense. And if it has been reported to the EFCC, it is expected that no matter what, all these kind of crimes should be on the basis of how much money is involved in you tried the case. You can't be talking about 200 million naira and it's just trivialized. Okay, a contract was given to him for dredging, which was up to like $12 million. And up till now, he has not done anything about it. And he's walking down the street normally. And the next thing, you hear people hear simple things like Yahoo boy stealing 500,000 naira, and all hell will be let loose. But here is someone. If this government is truly fighting corruption, I think that one of the things that, like what Sheyi Makinde is currently doing, setting up a committee that will make judicial process very speedy, so that we don't keep criminals around us and keep them detained for a long time. If issues like this happen, I think one of the important committees that should be set up by the present day government, if truly they are fighting corruption as they keep saying, is to make sure that judicial process is speedy. Don't slow pace it. Make it speedy, such that EFCC, this case has come up. Who brought up the case? Okay, this is the man. Do you think that the man there are enough evidence to prove that he's involved in this? Yes, we have enough evidence. Throw the person straight to court. And then it's not the issue of shifting the case. The case will be shifted to for 6 months time to come. No. If we cannot fix the case today, next week the case comes up again. Another next week the case comes up, so that speedily we handle these people, so that we can clear off these bad eggs at least out. As much as I know this is just too wrong. Now, I'm not against him at all, but I'm against the system. The system is encouraging a lot of things. If somebody had this kind of issue, it should even come to a point that if you have a corruption issue which has been authenticated, you have such cases that have been authenticated, you should be prevented from going into any form of elective position. Never. Oga, go and sort yourself. Your party will tell you, go and sort yourself. When you're finished sorting yourself, you can come up. That is how we can control the case of fraudulent activities that we are seeing on the pathway of our leaders. Imagine. Do you know what 4.3 billion is? And do you know the economic activity that would have been going on if he has done what he was supposed to do when he was given that contract? And it's really amazing that contracts are being given to people who have not really been trained in the act. How can somebody be a senator and at the same time they are giving him more contract?
No,
Why?
He had a company. He used his company name to get it.
He floats his company name, but if they know that it is traceable to him, why should they be giving it to him?
Conflict of interest.
Of course. These are some of the things that we should correct once and for all so that we stop this spread of corruption. Okay, now, if truly what they are saying now is true, that's 4.3 billion. It's really, what do you think about the future of Imo State?
Imo suffer. Do
you understand?
Will suffer.
Okay, we have 4.3 billion naira, and right now, nobody can stop him. If he's a wise person now, he can cough out from Imo's covers that 12 billion naira and settle this case so that he will be free from that fraud.
And take much more.
And before you know, and as much as we know in Nigeria, how the whole thing is regulated is that the ruling party, if you are in the ruling party, certainly next 4 years will not be difficult for him because he'll just go in and get another 4 years. And before you know, by the time he leaves, we'll start shouting, hey, this one is happening. Man.
Do you know what a northern elite, political elite said yesterday that got me? I couldn't talk, but I felt pained, but I realized he was saying the truth. They said, look, these people are just talking. They're making me laugh. See, he was laughing when he saw the court verdict. He said very small Okorocha just left. They just sacked a small Okorocha to bring a bigger Okorocha, bigger than the original Okorocha that is in that heap. He whips for Imo.
Because he has a history of his fraudulent
activities.
Do you understand? He knows that such a short time.
He said here there is a very small Okorocha. Maybe even he's going to do anything, it's going to be negligible. The guy is too... Yes, politicians have their own ways, maybe a bit little here and there. So, but the one that is empty, he says a bigger Okorocha. It's not just Okorocha, but a bigger version of Okorocha. He said he whips for Imo State, and that's coming from a northern political elite. Sometimes they will even tell you what some of these Eastern governors are doing. Exactly. Like Nia Ward that was always making so much. By the time Mohammed Junaid spoke about him, if you remember, he became very calm. That was when he
didn't debunk it, which was true.
He did not debunk it. That was when his brain entered factory reset, and I started saying, we need to think of the restructuring because all those things. You keep working Nicodemously, doing your thing Nicodemously. They are watching. And nowadays, you can imagine before he even entered the seat, you can imagine the level of fraud he had already perpetrated as a senator.
When he did not really have grip of
the cash,
the financial treasure of a particular state.
Imo State is in trouble.
And he could do as much as 4.3 billion. We could be talking about 200 million naira fake check or whatever check he gave, dot check he gave when he knows as a lawmaker the consequences of such thing, but he still issue it out because of the negligible attitude of our so-called EFCC and because if, for example, you know that this thing can cost me the whole of my political career and you have seen it happen in previous time, you won't try it. Magu is doing his best, but I think that his target should be more of people like this.
Do you know? Let's add this 2 and 2 together. This is just analysis. Now, hear what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If you check our previous video, you see what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. But we're going to summarize it here. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said that they have obviously removed Ihedioha to put the village Amajiri their as in someone they can rule as so they're puppets.
Yeah.
Now looking at his fraudulent history is a strong one.
Yes.
Which means if he doesn't dance to their tune, say, oh boy, come to Abuja, let's talk. And he comes and say, look, we want you to do this, we want you to do this. He say, oh God, my people, they will not allow. They will not allow. Okay.
You want us to roll out 4.3 billion.
Where is that EFCC? Where are you? It's like that's your case. It doesn't matter. I heard that according to the constitution, we can still remove the immunity. Oh, God, it has not come to that. It has no. We are helping you here. We elevated you as a governor, and this is the only way you can say thank you. Just this common favor that you should do to our people. You are saying your people will not allow it. Are you going to sign that you will do it? Now, with this clause you already has before entering, I pity the Imolites.
Exactly.
Because they will just remind him of Orji Uzokalo. If you want to be like Orji Uzokalo, after all, when he was protecting his people, saying Abia people, where is he now? Is Abia people in the cell with him? Would you like to look? We can always, don't forget that here, the people are not even happy that you're even the president, governor. We can always find something around there and they kick you out. You now face the consequences. See, you will say whatever sir you want me to do. It's not always nice when you enter a position on a comma level.
Yes.
I pity the Imolite. Honestly, let it not be that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's prophecy on this one again will be right. Unfortunately.
It's really heartbreaking. But all the same, we want to leave it there. Go to our comment section. Let us interact. Please, no hate words. Just